Welcome back to Classroom Help with Miss Alger. All right, what we will learn today, we're going to do some phonics, we're going to do some ELA, and we're going to do some math. Phonograms. We're still working with phonograms. Remember, phonograms is a series of letters that represents one or more sounds, and it can affect the way the vowel is heard and said. In this lesson, we will study phonograms, word chunks that have one vowel and two consonants. All right, we are doing the ALL, or all, as in ball. We are also doing the OLL phonogram, which is ol, as in troll, and the ALK, as in awk, as in chalk. Those are the phonograms we'll be working with this week. All right, here again we have the same sorting phonograms. We can sort our phonograms based on the sounds that they make, the all, the ol, and the awk, or there's some words that are no. Here's a list of words you can use with your student that they can sort. Another strategy is if you have a passage of some sort, a magazine you're reading, students can look for those phonograms in the magazine. As you see that I have underlined some of the phonograms in this passage here. Students can do this with any passage that you're reading with them. If they're reading a book, you can say, hey, can you see any of the phonograms we're working with? That's just another strategy you can use to help your student with phonograms. All right, this week in reading or ELA, we have read 3 stories. The Red Knit Cap Girl. The next story is an old favorite with a new Mexican twist to it. Little Red Riding Hood goes and sees her abuela, not her grandma. And The Grasshopper and the Ant. You can check out all these stories on YouTube with your student. You can read them or listen to them and apply the anchor charts that I'm going to show you next to these stories. All right, the anchor charts for this week are the theme, which a theme is a moral or a lesson the author wants the students to learn from the book. So as you read a story with your student, you can, if it is a story with a moral or a theme, you can ask them, what does the author want you to learn? Or what lessons did you learn? Or did a character learn a lesson? The next one is making connections. This gives the students the opportunity to connect to a text. They can connect to a text themselves. For example, one of the questions that we used this week was from Little Red Riding Hood. The coyote gets her to pick flowers. And the question was, have you ever picked flowers? To make that connection to students. Many of the students pick flowers on the playground. They pick like dandelions and stuff and give them to us teachers. So that's a connection they were able to make with the text. Sometimes texts connect to different text. Another example of that is this week or last week we read Interrupting Chicken, which had a little excerpt from Little Red Riding Hood. And this week we actually read Little Red Riding Hood in its entirety with a little twist. And so the students were able to make connections of both had Little Red Riding Hood. However, one text had a wolf and the Little Red Riding Hood we just read had a coyote. So there were some differences. They compared the two texts and how they were similar and different. The next anchor chart we will use is making inferences. Making inferences is just a fancy word for making a smart guess using what you know and what you see in a text, either the words or the pictures. So the students really struggle with making inferences of what a character might do or something. So that's one to really work with your student on, looking at the pictures and the words. What do you think they're thinking? What do you think they're going to do? Have them make some guesses on what they think a character will do. The last one is probably the easiest, and that's setting, knowing where and when a story is taking place, and sometimes understanding how the setting is changing throughout the story. So where is the place and when is the season, the time, is it morning, is it night? Those kind of questions you can ask your students, like, where is this? They can say in the woods, and then when is this story taking place? If they say the morning, night, they can check those clues with the setting. All right, math. This week in math, we have started using double digits to subtract, but we've started really simple with, this is one strategy you can use to help your student subtract double digit numbers. Understanding, and particularly this only works when they're doing like tens, like 70 and 20. So most students know 7 minus 2 in ones, just like the blocks here. There's 7 blocks. We're going to take away 2 of them. And now we have 5. So we can translate that same type of problem to tens. So now we have 7 tens rods down here below. And you will see that we can take away 2 of them. And then we have 7 tens minus 2 tens equals 5 tens. And we know that if you have 7 tens, you add a 0 to the 7 and you get 70. And if you're taking away 2 tens is 20. They can count by tens to figure that out. The next strategy the kids really like to use is using a 100 chart to also take away tens, like 40 minus 10. The students can circle 40 and then go up 1 by a 10. And they will get 30. And they can do the same thing with the next one. We start at 40, we circled it, and now we're going to count up 2 times because 2 tens and each row is 10, they know. So 10, 20, and our answer is 20. You can use these exact problems with your students, or you can make up your own. If you need a 100 chart for your student to work with at home, leave a comment below so I know that you need those supplies at home. And we'll do the same thing with 30. 30 minus 20, we know that if we take 2 tens away from that, we start there and we get 10 because we count up 2 times. 10 minus 10. I thought this one was going to trick your students today, but they were really like on it. They were like, it's 0. They all yelled it out at me today. And that's those are 2 strategies you can use to help your student with their math homework. And a number line. So we are going to be learning this strategy very soon, but this is a really easy strategy to use with students. An open number line, students like to use an open number line because it helps them visualize the math problem. So we have 30 minus 20. So the first thing we'll do is put 30 on our number line. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to count back by tens. So we go 10 minus 10 is 20, minus another 10 is 10. So that's another strategy, and we could do it with a bigger number. We'll do it with a second example 2. We'll start with the biggest number like we always do when we subtract. 90, we're going to put that on our number line here, and then we're going to count back by tens. We're going to go minus 10, that is 80. We're going to go back another 10, that's 70. Another 10, 60, 50, and then we are going to make sure we count back 5 tens. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 tens we have counted back, and our answer is 40. So these are all ways that you can help your student to complete their homework and help them to understand subtracting double-digit numbers by tens. All right, like and subscribe the video. If you need any more help, please leave a comment below. If anything is confusing to you, reach out to me. I am always willing to help.